Maricopa, Arizona audit Twitter page tweeted, "You, Katie Hobbs, might be held accountable for having your paid election expert Ryan Macias impersonate a reporter and try to sneak past security to get on the ballot floor. More to come." Can you tell me anything about that?
Well, about a week and a half ago, when we had a demonstration on the floor of the audit before it started of what was going to be done at each table, we had a media-only night, and a gentleman by the name of Ryan Macias showed up. And at first, I'm told that he told people that he was media, but then when we asked for credentials, he didn't have any, and so then he admitted that he was he had a private business card that had something to do with the elections, and he had worked in California related to elections and back in Washington, D.C. So unfortunately, some of the staff that dealt with him that evening felt like he had tried to present himself as a member of the media when he was not. So I think that's what gave rise to that.
So at the
tweet.
time, the media was allowed on the main floor?
Well, that night we had, kind of a demonstration of the various processes that were going to be done by the teams at the counting tables, and we had it specifically for media, and he showed up during that one.
He just snuck in?
Well, he came in and initially said he was part of the media, but then when we asked him for a media credential and he couldn't produce one, then he admitted that he was not a member of the media, and so we didn't let him in that night. But he ends up being one of the observers that the Arizona Secretary of State's office has appointed to come over and watch the audit,
Okay.
in that way. So.
And then, a few days ago, Judge Dan Martin published the audit's confidential security plan. Does this create any security concerns?
No, I don't think so. I think it's evident from the security plan that we have lots of security here. We appreciate the Arizona Rangers have been one of the largest portions of that. And if anybody wants to help somebody to help the audit, I suggest they give donations to the Arizona Rangers. So they've stepped up, but we've also had organizations pay for private security companies to be here along with the Rangers. Unfortunately, the governor has not dispatched DPS or any of the state law enforcement agencies specifically to be here, but some of their officers and many other law enforcement agencies are working through a company called Law Enforcement Services, where off-duty police officers and law enforcement officers can pick up a buck by being assigned to a security detail like we need here.
All right. So why do you think that Governor Ducey doesn't support the audit?
Well, I don't know that has said one way or another, but for some reason President Fan asked him to assign DPS security, and he refused. So that was disappointing.
Are there any concerns with the carnival right here? And then tonight, just 2 miles away, there's going to be a Black Lives Matter rally. Are you concerned about that?
No, we're not concerned. We've kind of separated by fencing and everything the carnival activities from this building. We kind of pulled in our perimeter with fencing just to around the Coliseum, and so it looks like the carnival had its 5 or 6 days of operations that went off without affecting us at all.
Awesome. And then finally, are there any additional concerns with the Biden DOJ?
Well, any time that the Brennan Center and others that signed on the letter send a letter to the Department of Justice saying that there's imminent danger of the ballots being stolen or lost or damaged, which is totally ludicrous. It's always concerning that they might react in a way that they're believing that kind of garbage, but there's nothing in that letter that I think represented the reality of what's going on here. Ever since the machines and the ballots were delivered, we've had 24/7 guarded security. Everything's on live streaming camera. I don't think there's any more risk of the ballots being damaged here than they could have been over at Maricopa County. So, but we're going to do everything we can to make sure that they don't get lost, damaged, or stolen here.
All right. Well,
Okay.
that's all the questions I have for you. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Jordan.